Welcome to the 33rd EBRD Annual Meeting and Business Forum being held this year in Yerevan, the Armenian capital. Now, this year's theme is Delivering Impact Together, and we're currently in the Chumo Center for Creative Technologies. This is an extracurricular education space for children to learn skills in technology and design, and it's a fitting place today for our digital day, where we'll be discussing fintech, AI, cybersecurity, we're just coming up on the stage here, digitization, opportunities for financial services. And we're joined here by Ben Crampton. He is the Director for European Government Affairs at Microsoft, and Dr. Melanie Garson, who is Cyber Policy Lead in the Internet Policy Unit at the Tony Blair Institute. Well, let's start with Ben Crampton. Your ex-profile says you're a dad, reader, birder, and former diplomat. So quick fire, what book are you reading at the moment?
Okay, so reading Kapka Kasabova's Border, which is a journey along the Bulgarian border into Greece and Turkey.
And what's the rarest bird you've seen?
So good question. That was the Seychelles Paradise Flycatcher. I was incredibly lucky to go on a work trip to the Seychelles about 5 years ago. So that was an incredible one.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're an expert in digital defense. Explain what the current threats are at the moment.
So the threats are multiple. There's a huge increase in the number of nation-state attacks. There's a huge increase in ransomware attacks, and these are across all sectors of business, all sectors of government, think tanks, all academia, hospitals. So there's an enormous increase in the amount of threat. Many of these threats can be easily dealt with by basic cyber hygiene, but some of them are really very sophisticated, and for that we need to see a lot more cooperation between companies like Microsoft and governments across the world.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Melanie Garson, your ex-profile says you're a speaker and think of all things cyber and AI policy and tech geopolitics. What's tech geopolitics?
It's really where we get the intersection between new, emerging and disruptive tech and how that is reshaping the world order, international relations, who might be the new players, both from private sector becoming newer players in that arena, and really how countries need to re-equip themselves to deal with that.
Okay, and so we've heard about the threats, state-based hacktivists sowing discord online. What can global leaders do to address these issues?
I think there's two key areas. I think one, particularly the temptation to absorb every new tool into building their governments, making services more effective, is extraordinary. But at the same time, they mustn't forget that digital maturity has to be accompanied by equal investment in security maturity to really keep themselves safe. And they also really need to think about their new diplomatic capacity and how they are able to build themselves to have a voice on key issues relating to technology and international relations.
Thank you very much. Well, if you're interested in hearing more on this week, go to video.ebrd.com for more content in the coming days.